a podcast network. This is the Lifestyle Live Podcast.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart. Lifestyle Live. Lifestyle Live.
His stand-up special, A New Day, just premiered last February on Netflix. The special actually produced by Dave Chappelle, his good friend, one of 4 specials that Dave produced for Netflix. He also keeps busy with his YouTube podcast called The Donell Rawlings Show, and now he's bringing his Black and Mild tour to Helium on April 4th and 5th, and he joins us now. Thank you so much for being here, man. This is a genuine pleasure.
Thank you for putting that emphasis on the black and not the mild, all right?
Yeah, I got you. As soon as I heard...
lose control when I'm not next to you. I'm thinking if the comedy doesn't work for me, I might be an R&B singer or American Idol. Or
I think you could do all of that. Yeah, you can do all those. It's so funny when I read
Let me test it. Something's got a hold on me lately, and I don't know. All right, I'm done.
Listen, keep going. We'll just blow out the entire show.
Feels like the world's all closing in, and the devil's knock. Okay, that's enough.
You are such a genuine human, and it comes across in everything that you do and have done. Has it always been like that for you when you first got into this, or did it take a minute to find out like who you were as who people were going to love?
No. I started as an a-hole, and then that didn't really work out for me, so I had to tone it down and be more sensitive and caring to people's needs. But at the beginning, I was like, get out of here. I need green jelly beans in my green room. No, I never was that. In fact, when I see people on the street and they say, aren't you famous? I said, no, I won't take fame, but I will take the funny part. So I never really connected with that. This isn't something that I wanted to do. It just happened by chance. It was off of a dare. And then I embraced it, and I just continued to do it. And after 30 years, I still maintain my funniness. As the kids say, I'm relevant to a certain extent, and I'm always out to have a good time. And I think people connect with my energy, and that's why, for the last 30 years, I've been able to sustain a good career telling jokes.
It's so fun. I mentioned some of the things that you've done in just this past year, but the podcasting thing has been kind of a new foray for you. What has that done? Well, you mentioned that relevancy aspect and being able to be there in immediacy for people in some form of entertainment.
I mean, it gets people to get to know who I am. I mean, it's unedited, it's unfiltered, it's uncensored. So, I mean, podcast is a true test of who you really are. When I first started doing it, my concern was trying to be funny every minute and every second of the podcast. Then as I started talking to some of the people that's been in the game for a while and know what it takes to have the longevity of it, it's been likable and people want to follow your story. So some episodes may be funnier than the other ones. Some of them may be more transparent than the other one, but it's genuine, it's authentic, and you really get to see who Donnell really is if you follow the Donnell Rawlings Show on YouTube and all podcast platforms.
It's so unique to that sort of a platform because, as you mentioned, it is very raw. It's for all intents and purposes live. Like there's, you're just doing the show as it happens, which is different, obviously, than stand-up, where you've really rehearsed things, you've worked things out, you've said this isn't funny, this might be, whatever. Which one do you enjoy more, or is it just different?
Well, stand-up is my bread and butter. If I wasn't doing stand-up, I think my intro would be "Welcome to Cheesecake Factory. Can I take it over?"
They have great cheesecake, though.
Not that there's anything wrong with Cheesecake Factory, but, I don't do a lot of acting. I'm more control of my destiny as a stand-up. Acting is kind of fun for me. Like, I haven't taken really auditions serious in the last 5 years, and some of the stuff I landed has been just because people have worked with me before, and they want to reconnect with me. But stand-up is my baby. I love acting. I think this year I might take a little bit more serious because when I do act, people say I'm pretty good at it. So, but stand-up that's my thing. And I can say after 30 years, a lot of times people kind of tap out. They get to a certain point where they're not as excited and not motivated. Their creative juices stop flowing. But after 30 years, every year I continue to think that I get better. And that's probably coming from a year that I was already doing well. So this is my baby. I love it. And I will say this for the people that might be introduced to me on your platform for this first time. If you like the work I did on HBO's The Wire, if you like what I did on The Corner, if you like what I did on Chappelle's Show, if you like what I did on BMF, Soul, and it goes on and on, I guarantee you, if you come see me do live stand-up, you'll become a fan for a lifetime.
That's what I love you just rattling off just a few of the things, because you have been so ingrained in pop culture, at least in my generation growing up. And I think sometimes people maybe don't even realize that you are ingrained in that way. You know, I mean, you
It's
mentioned The
interesting.
Wire and things like that.
It's interesting that you said that because I was having a conversation with Dave about possibly going again, doing another special. And I never really take myself that serious. And some of the things I've accomplished, I don't really connect with it. And he broke it down. He said, Donnell, do you realize in the last 30 years, any show that has something to do with pop culture, that was a breakaway show, you've been a part of it. So I don't pat myself on the back, but I do look at it like I have done some things. US Weekly had an article some years ago, and they listed the top 100 shows in the history of TV. And HBO's The Wire and Chappelle Show ranked in the top 100. So if I have a legacy, or if anybody want to remember me from anything, I'm glad they can remember me from some groundbreaking productions.
It makes sense because I've watched both of those on repeat for, you know,
Right.
since they've been on. Like, that's just it's those comfort shows and those comfort things. And I think that's what your stand-up does too. If I'm just speaking honestly, like when you watch what you're doing, it feels like you are telling me individually the story that you're sharing. And that's a really difficult thing to accomplish in comedy.
I always say that it's like in everybody's family, you know, you go to a family reunion, everybody knows this one story, but they only want to hear it from one person. Everybody's got their version, whatever, but we like, nah. Let Leroy tell it. Leroy know how to tell a story. And that's how I try to have my show. I try to have it where it doesn't feel scripted. Of course, there's some things I go in knowing, but I want to feel like I'm having a conversation with the audience, and I want to learn something about the audience when I leave, and hopefully they learn something about me when they leave.
The tour is called the Black and Mild Tour, which took me directly to my college days. Like, all I could think about was how much I wanted a Black and Mild right now. But
a cigar or a woman. You can edit that if you want.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm married now, but both, yeah.
If you swim in the milk, you swim in the milk, all right? Don't worry about it. I know you probably had your Jordans on back then too, right?
You know,
jersey.
Yeah, of course.
I know.
You. Yeah.
And you probably had the sexy laugh. You probably talked to the girls like,
Yeah, it has gotten much worse as I've gotten older and now have children of my own. That cool factor disappeared very quickly, faster than I would have liked.
Yeah, where I'm from, a cool factor is being present in your kid's life.
Yeah.
So, you know, hopefully everybody that come to my show they have that cool factor with their family.
I love that so much. April 4th and 5th, Helium. Donnell, this is a genuine pleasure. You are a hilarious human. You're a genuine human, and we really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us. And I know people are going to just flock to the Helium for your show.
I hope so, but just in closing, just in case you weren't familiar with my voice or anything, I'd just like to say, I'm rich! And I'll just let you cut it right there and go to the break of the commercial, whatever you got to do.
Oh, I'm so glad you did that. I was going to ask, but I didn't know if you'd want to or not. That was amazing. That's awesome.
It's all good.
Donnell, thank you so much. We really appreciate it, man.
All right, thank you for your time.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Lifestyle Live Podcast. Thank you for listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And connect for even more on Facebook and at lifestylelive.tv.
Faces you know and a team you can trust. Stories that form your heart.